All right, we're going to begin with a square, and in this particular case, the square has all the sides equal to 1. We'll say, we could say 1 meter, 1 foot, really doesn't matter what unit it is. Any square, it doesn't even have to be equal to 1. It doesn't have to be a unit square. It could be 10 or 15, 20, whatever number. Okay, so we're going to draw a diagonal for this square, and the diagonal bisects the right angles on two of the corners, two of the vertices. So what kind of right triangles are formed? Well, since the sides are equal, we know those are isosceles right triangles, and they are 45, 45, and 90 degrees. So we're going to examine one of those in particular, but we can also say that the hypotenuse of either of these isosceles right triangles is nothing more than the diagonal of any square. So let's draw the bottom triangle and label the hypotenuse as y. And we want to find the length of the hypotenuse. So we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the hypotenuse. And we see that the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the legs, or y squared is equal to 1 squared plus 1 squared. And in this case, y squared is equal to 1 plus 1. So y squared is equal to 2. We take the square root of both sides, and we get that y is equal to the square root of 2. So the square root of 2 is the length of this side. And if you want to check that out, that's about 1.41. Although it's an irrational number, so this is actually a more accurate way to write it. Square root of 2. Square root of 2 is built into every square. And we'll see if we can generalize our finding. So, is this true if the triangle was half the size? Okay, let's multiply all the sides by a half. And we would now have this side would be a half, this would be a half, and this would be 1/2 times the square root of 2. Let's draw a triangle 1/2 the size. So we'd multiply all the sides by 1.5. And, you'd get these subsequent numbers. If you drew a triangle that is s times as large, s just being a scaling factor, so we could choose any number, and when we do that, we get our generalized result that in a square, if the side is length s, and this is length s because it's an isosceles triangle, so it's equal, the hypotenuse is just s times the square root of 2. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's use an example with numbers. Let's say this was 10, this length side was 10 meters, and this was 10 meters, then this would just be 10 times square root of 2. And like I said, since square root of 2 is about 1.41, this side would be slightly over 14 meters. Hope you enjoyed.